Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome back to another episode of whatever this podcast is called. James, what's it called? Marabella Mindset?
Yeah.
Yeah. Today I'm going to talk about questions. And three questions in particular that I feel every owner should ask a person before they bring them on their team. And honestly, if you didn't ask these questions, you can ask your team these questions now. You should actually answer these questions. And I use these questions when I bring someone on my coaching program. They're actually amazing. What these three questions are is I base it around experiences. What experiences do you want to have in life? When you ask your team member, what are your goals? And even like yourself, when you think about your goals, it's very vague. It's a very hard question to answer, especially for like a 19-year-old or a 22-year-old. Like, what are your goals? Their goals is just not to be hungover tomorrow after they go out drinking tonight. Like a lot of times there's no depth in that question of goals because they don't really have anything to base it off of because they only have so many years on this planet. But when you ask them, what experiences do you want to have in life? I think it changes the whole framing of the goal question. So the three questions are this: what experiences do you want to have in life? What kind of person do you need to become to make those experiences possible? And then how are you going to help other people make their experiences possible too? And the reason why I like to ask this question to any new person I bring on my team is it gives me an idea of how I can better support them as a salon owner. Your job as a salon owner is not to be the boss. Your job as a salon owner is to be their leader. And a lot of times we get mixed up on the difference between the two. When you ask that question, what experiences do you want to have in life? Do they want to own a house in Miami? Do they want to own a yacht? Do they want a Ferrari? Do they want to coach soccer and have weekends off? Whatever the answer is, there's no right or wrong. It's just their answer. You have to be able to position your salon as the vehicle to help them achieve those experiences. Now, if they want to be a platform artist, they want to be an educator, they want to do things within the industry, that's amazing too. You want to make sure this is an open-ended. You want to be able to make sure that if they want to pay their grandma's house off, like you could help them achieve that and give them that experience. You want to, or they want to have a summer home in Florida. They want to have a winter log cabin in Maine. Whatever the thing is, really go deep on what they want to experience. Do they want to see what it's like to do fashion week as a hairstylist? The next question is the most important one. What kind of person do you need to become to make those experiences possible? And you ask them this question and you let them answer it. You let them tell you how they need to show up to make this their true reality. Because a lot of owners are always like, how do I motivate my team? You don't motivate your team, you inspire your team. But the problem is you don't know how to inspire them because what inspires you doesn't inspire them. So you have to find out what truly moves them, what inspires them, what experiences they want to have in this life. And then you have them tell you how they need to show up so you could hold them accountable and you could lead them to that person, to become that person. Because a person, like if they want to have a beautiful car, a summer home in Miami, a house in Maine, they want to do fashion week for New York, there's a certain level they have to show up at. And when they're not showing up at that level, it gives you an opportunity to ask them about the experiences that they want to have in life. And is the person they are right now the same person that can experience that? Because smoking weed in your mom's basement all day, coming in late on the weekends, coming in late at all in the salon, not posting on social media, not going through the education you're providing, that person could never develop into the person they need to develop into to have these experiences. And they're the ones who told you who they needed to become. They're the ones who told you what experiences they want to have in life. Like you give them their KPIs, they don't give a shit about your KPIs. I promise you, it doesn't matter to them. 90% of hairstylists, what these KPIs, these numbers are when you give them the dashboard and the printout, they don't care. What they do care about is how close am I to achieving the results and the experiences that I want to achieve. I want to pay my debt off. I want to buy this car. I want to pay my car off. I want to move out of my parents' house. And then you position how they're showing up. And then if they're showing up the right way or they're not for their own experiences, you coach them on that. Because if Jennifer wants to go to 5 country concerts a month in the summertime, she's not in the salon enough to truly do enough clients to make the money she needs to get out of her parents' house. So it's so important that you first figure that out. The next reason why this is important is because you truly have to show them that your salon is the vehicle to help them achieve and take them to where they need to go. If they can achieve every result that they set out to achieve, and they do it by being part of your team, why would they ever want to go anywhere else? You need to know, like, what's next for this particular stylist. If you're able to help them achieve every next level in their career, and even if it's becoming an owner, if that's something that they want to do, you know that out the gate, they want to experience what it's like to own their own business. Awesome. I know that Jennifer at 19 years old, when she comes to me, eventually she wants to own her own salon. I will groom her and teach her who she needs to become, how she has to show up in order for her to achieve that goal, achieve that experience. I think it's one of the most amazing things in the world to be a leader and own a salon. And that's where the third question comes in. How are you going to help other people make their experiences possible too? This is where we're at as owners right now. If you are a stylist, you could 100% still answer that question. How are you going to help other stylists who are a couple years behind you achieve the goals and the results that you have today? And so as an owner, what I like to do is I like to have my junior stylist teach my assistants. I like to have my senior stylist teach my junior stylist, my master stylist teach my senior stylist, so on and so forth. There's something magical that happens when you're helping somebody out of a spot that you were just in. It gives you a different perspective. It makes you feel accomplished. And so that third question is so powerful. It's just for a lot of our younger stylists, they're not there yet. So I asked that question, and I do help them help other people, but it's really that second question for them. When you start getting somebody who's been behind the chair for a couple of years, it's time you focus on their ability to help other people. The fastest way to get whatever you want in this life is to help somebody else achieve that. I know that sounds crazy, but that's a fact. I've accomplished so much in the past, however many years I've been coaching for and helping salon owners achieve the freedom and the goals and the success that they want out of their salon. And I've achieved all of my goals because of that. And it was like, as I'm helping them, I'm learning so much. So as you being a salon owner, as you're helping your stylist achieve success behind the chair, it's ultimately going to help you become more successful. That's it. Like, that's the secret. If you want to become a millionaire, right? If you help 1 million people become a millionaire, you're guaranteed to become a millionaire. If you add value to 100,000 people and you charge $1 for that value, you just made $100,000. If you charge $10 for that value, you made $1 million. I think my math is right on that, but James, you can tell me if I'm wrong. So think about, how do you add value to somebody's life? And when you ask them, what experience do you want to have in this life, or what experience do you want to have in this career or this life, who do you need to become to make those experiences possible? And then how are you going to help other people make their experiences possible too? You should actually answer these questions for yourself. Like, you should sit back and reflect. What experiences do you want to have owning a salon? What experiences do you want to have doing hair? Like, is this it? Like, are you done? Are you fulfilled? If so, great. No, you don't have to do shit then. You're where you want to be at. But if there's still something left in the tank, if you still want to achieve more, if you're at a point right now where you're like, I want to experience what it's like to not have to work behind the chair for a paycheck. I own a business, and unfortunately, it's not profitable enough for me to step away from behind the chair and truly lead a team. I miss my daughter's dance recital. I miss my son's soccer game. I was working my ass off all till 3:00 in the afternoon on Christmas Eve, and I'm exhausted and I'm burnt out, and I know there has to be a better way. If you want to experience what it's like to be a true owner and not a stylist who owns a salon, then you have to get the skills that you need in order to make that a reality for you. You have to become the person who deserves to have those experiences. And only until you do, only until you change your identity and transform into that person, until that point in time, that's the only time it can happen. If you don't do that, you're going to be stuck as a stylist with that mindset forever. So think about the experiences you want to have as an owner. And if you're a stylist watching right now, answer this question too. What do you want to be in a suite? Like, this is the question too that blows me away. You go to a suite because you want to become an owner of a business. The problem is, you go to a suite and your business will always own you because you're stuck behind the chair and you can only grow so much there. Whereas if you truly develop the skills of being an owner, you could step into a small micro salon and truly become an owner. Not to say that owning a suite's wrong. If that's what you want to experience, then great. But for a lot of people, why they feel stuck in a suite is because they had the idea of owning their own business, and you got served a whole series of lies from whoever you bought or rented the suite from. And you get in there and you're like, holy shit, this is not what owning a business is like. I'm just working harder than I did when I worked in a salon, and I'm not really making as much money. Now, like I said, that's not a reality for everybody. For those people who want to actually own a business, you need to have 3, 4, or 5 chairs. So then you could actually build a team and grow a team. And what begins to happen is they feel burnt out. They think that's what owning a business is like. They go back to a salon and they give up on ownership. And so I feel like you have to truly understand what that is to own a business, not be a hairstylist that just pays rent and says they own a salon. Actually be an owner. Actually stop doing hair, or you don't have to do hair for your business to generate money. That's what it means. So think about these experiences you want. Think about who you need to become in order to make them actually a reality for you. And then how are you going to help someone else achieve or create their experiences too? I'm dying right now with this sweater on. Hold on.
You don't want to show everybody your titties?
I don't have any titties anymore, James. But my next post I post up, you're going to see I have no titties. I just wanted to keep it PG. Oh my God. I was dying through that frigging first 5-10 minutes of this podcast. If you guys are listening, I was wearing like a really thick fleece sweater because it's winter here in New Jersey. It's 7 degrees outside. And maybe that's 7, but all right.
It's pretty close.
With that said, Q&A, guys. So if you guys are listening still and you're not working behind the chair and you have the ability to ask a question, please jump in the comments. James will ask a question. James is watching on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. But
we got, let's see, iceberg cut sweets ain't it?
Yeah. When it comes, like, and questions are the most important thing. Like when I drive, I literally spend the half-hour commute to work or however long it takes me with traffic, having a conversation with ChatGPT, asking it questions. I use Claude for the most part, honestly, now, and I just ask it questions. I keep asking. Being so curious and just it's going to help you out, but you never do that for yourself a lot of times. You should go deep into who you want to become, into what you want to experience, because we get so stuck doing the day-to-day. Like you're putting out fires, you're taking all the energy from everybody else who sits in your chair. Your team's dumping their frustration on you. You go home, and if you're a mom, you got your kids pulling out your pants, you got your husband's bothering you about something, and you never have space to actually think about, is this the life that I want to live? And so these 3 questions you could put in any role you have. What experiences do I want to have as a mother? What experiences do I want to have as a wife? What experiences do I want to have as a salon owner? What, if you're still behind the chair, what experiences do I want to have as a stylist? And then you just become the person that you need to become to make those experiences possible. It's that simple. It's a complete identity shift. In fact, guys, if you're in the Level Up Academy, we're going to go deep into this subject on Monday. Completely recreating your new identity to be the owner you need to be. But that is for the community. James, another question.
Carolyn J. Maboris, is it wrong to stalk their personal social media before hiring? I do it every time. LOL.
No. Not wrong at all. If they're dumb enough, listen, if someone's stupid enough to put something kind of like silly on their personal social media and it's a red flag, then don't do it, because that person's not smart enough to do shit behind closed doors, I guess. Here's the thing. And I'm going to talk about 2 things. A, everybody should have one social media account. You should have a hair page and a personal page. You need one page. That's it. You're a personal brand, whether you own a salon or you do hair. That's all you need. Everything is pretty much based on personal brand nowadays, because with AI coming up, you're going to be able to create these AI influencers, and I'm sure they already exist. There's friggin' AI OnlyFans accounts now that are doing millions of dollars a year. You are going to, the only thing separating you from AI is your personal brand and your personal identity and who you are. That's it. So with that rant over, when it comes to someone's like personal social media, the thing that blows me away is, hey, I always use the name Jennifer. So if you're a Jennifer listening, this is no offense to you. It's a name that is easy for me to say. Hey, Jennifer, like, I know you can't post on social media because you don't know how to use social media, or you feel shy. But it's funny, I was on your page this week and you were at this bar, this club, that club, posting martinis, drinks for your friends. You had no problem doing any of that. Can you tell me what the difference is? Why you feel comfortable posting that, but not hair pictures? I'm just curious. And like, there's something good that come out of that. Like, if someone's active in their personal life, you have to find out what is the limited belief around that person, why they can't post about hair. Like, do they not want to? Do they not believe in themselves enough? Do they not like your salon? Like, what is the thing that's lacking in their confidence that they feel like I could post drinks to my friends and stupid shit that I do on my personal social media and in my stories, but I can't show up like that for my career? So I think it's amazing that you do that. I don't stalk anyone. I kind of and the reason why I let them be the person they need to be in my salon. Because I do understand that people have different personalities. And if they could become the person they need to in the salon and not let the outside world affect them, then great. I like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But the cool thing is, what kind of person do you need to become to make those experiences possible? Well, Jen, the person you need to become is someone who shows up to work ready to do hair behind the chair, eager to work, not hungover, ready to give a 5-star experience to all your clients. If you are getting in at 4 a.m. and your last drink was at 3:30 and you're doing other stuff that happens at 3:30 a.m., because I was young once too, and I understand what goes on after 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to be 100% behind the chair. I have no idea how my clients, when I was like in my young 20s, like how they even stayed with me. I would literally be up all night drinking in the city, go home, shower real quick, and then come to work. Stamp still on my hand, like smelling like vodka probably. I don't even know. I have no idea why they even say, like, I guess I was really good. But it gives you an opportunity to see like who that person is. So look at their page. I don't think anything's wrong with that. James.
We got, let's see. Blade Borad Beauty. I guess
Cool.
that's
Ask a
how you
question.
say it. How do you handle it when someone has amazing skills, but their personality is kind of off in the interview?
All right. I hire on 2 things: character and hunger. So they're like, part of being successful in this industry is your personality and your skill, right? So your character is kind of a reflection of your personality. If your skill is off, I at least need you to be a good human being with a good personality so we can build your skills to make you successful. If you have a good personality and you have good skills, you don't really know their skills until you see their work, they're going to be super successful. Their personality goes a long way. If you feel you get a bad vibe from that person, then you have to listen to your gut instinct. The issue is people's personalities, they're still really nervous on an interview. This is why being an amazing leader is so crucial for you as an owner, because when you interview new people, you have to have a way about you that makes them feel comfortable, and you have to speak a language of leadership that allows them to let their guard down, to truly let their personality shine. And that's a skill set all in itself. So if this happens a lot, like a lot of people's personalities are off, you have to figure out, is it a people problem or a process problem? Like, what's your process for interviewing? You may have to kind of rework things in that process to allow people to calm down on the interview and really let their personality shine. So I wouldn't go, if you are a good interviewer, I would really base it off that personality, because they're going to be in your salon. They're going to be part of your family, quote unquote. Like, they're going to be with them a lot. And if you don't like their personality, even if their skills are great, it's going to be annoying to work with them. There may be another salon that has the same type of vibe or personality that may be better suited for them. It doesn't mean you don't hire them. You just hire them on a trial basis to see if maybe they warm up to you, or maybe you do like them. The way I like to do that is week 1, you do a check-in, 30 days, you do a check-in, 60 check-in, 90 days check-in. If everything jibes, everything's cool, they're on the team. If for whatever reason, like something's wrong, you got to fix it. You give them an opportunity to fix it with a good meeting, with, good coaching. If they still can't change whatever you need to change, then they're off the team. James, next question. Guys, in the comments too, while he's trying to read that, because he's a hard time reading, if you enjoy these Q&As, let me know in the comments. Be like, hey, you like listening to this? Because maybe we'll do more of them during the week. And I feel like this is probably where I shine a lot with the Q&As. I love rapid fire. And this is where a lot of other people in my space, they just can't do it because they teach off a fucking PDF or some ChatGPT themed lesson. And I feel like unless you own a salon or you've been through it before, you really can't answer these questions rapid fire. And so I'd rather be more of service to you, the audience who's watching. They really help you build and grow your career. They just teach you like a topic every single day. So if you like the Q&A aspect, I'll lean into that a little bit.
The Haberis LV. What if they say all the right things, but something in your gut feels weird?
I honestly don't like to go away from my gut feeling. If something in your gut feels weird, something's off. There's an unspoken language in the ether, right? The air. There's a vibration that person's putting off. Here's the thing I do want to tell you. You could be picking up a frequency off that person, and it may not be something that's permanent with them. It might just be something that they got into a fight with their husband or their boyfriend, or like something happened in their life that right before they had that interview is causing them to be off frequency. So you're picking that up with your gut feeling. So what I would do if they nailed everything on the interview, there has to be a probationary period, which is why I set my interviews up like this, why I set my onboarding process up like this. It's like I teach it in the Level Up Academy. It's a very detailed, dialed in onboarding process. And the one we're teaching in a couple of weeks is so fucking awesome. Like it's literally going to allow you to hire the perfect person and then make sure no one gets through unless they're perfect for your team. So week 1, check in. If there's anything that needs to happen, you address it right then and there. Like any changes, anything you pick up. So you give them the benefit of the doubt. You have that gut feeling. If it's not screaming like, hey, don't hire this person. Like they came in blacked out drunk, but I'm sure that's not the case because you said they answered everything perfect. Week 1, check in. Then 30-day check-in, 60-day check-in, 90-day check-in. It's so important that you do that. You let that person know you're not hired until day 90. Because pretty much from day 1 to day 90, you're going to kind of see their true colors and see any kind of like red flags that will appear. But yeah, always go with your gut. Make sure you make a mental note of it and just keep pay extra attention to it. It's so funny. These things throw me like this camera tripod's on an angle. It's bothering me right now. The camera's straight because we leveled it, but the tripod's on an angle.
Iceberg Cuts. I have a question.
What's
a good bank to get a loan for a salon, and what would be a good amount? 150K.
All right, it's a good question. A good bank to get a loan for a salon is your personal bank. Do not borrow money to open a business. Your first business, I should say. It will work for some people. You should have built the habit of saving and the discipline of saving money. You should be busy enough behind the chair to self-fund the business. If you have to borrow any kind of money, what I like to do is make sure you have a secured line of credit. Like go to almost any bank, have your $80,000, $100,000 saved up, put it in like a secured credit card type account. So it's like you're going to build credit with that, but that's your safety net. If you default or screw up, you're not on the hook because the money's in the account. Like that's the safest way to do it. And it's probably not the smartest way to do it, but you're new to ownership, right? When you take a loan out, typically for a lot of people, when they borrow money, myself included, I'm not good with money. Like I could spend money like a drunken sailor. I'm terrible with money. I'm really good at making money. Like I can make money out of anything. I'm really good at that. I'm really good at spending money too. So when I borrow money, I have this is everybody. You have these big visions and dreams. And then you start buying all the shit you need for the salon. Then you have the money in the account. So you're like, I'm going to use it. I'm going to get the best chairs. I'm going to get the best equipment. No, that's not what you do. Here's what you do. Put your money, like I said, in a bank account. Make sure you save up enough money. You have 100 grand in a secured credit card. You should have another 50 grand somewhere saved up for like your 3 months of bills and stuff as well. This is big boy stuff. This is big girl stuff. Like, you're not borrowing money to go fucking play salon owner. You need to have the skill set and the habits already dialed in of being good with your money. Now what you do is you pretend you have no money still. When you borrow money from the bank with nothing set up in collateral, you're just spending money frivolously. At least 90% of the people, for the most part. You could get a salon built for 30 grand if that's your budget, and that's all you have to build a salon, and it can be beautiful. If you have $200,000 as your budget to build a salon, you will spend all $200,000 typically. You're gonna spend more money on chairs. You're just gonna have access to that money, so you're probably gonna use it. You have to pretend like you're broke. And who said this? Was it Damon John? I think it was him on an interview talking about like what made people successful, and your ability to do more with less when you don't have access to money is so much greater. And the reason why people fail a lot of times in business as they get successful is they have access now to funds, and they start making decisions based on the money they have access to now. And then they start going bankrupt. But they were thinking completely different when they had no money, and they built it up to $1 million business. Now they have access to the funds because now people are giving them money because they showed that they can make money, and they completely sabotage your business. But nobody gives you money when you're starting out because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And there's a reason for that, because more than likely it's not going to work out. So you have to bet on yourself. And the way to do that is exactly how I said it. Put the money in a secure credit card, handle that, pay that off, build the habit, and you always have access to that money. And pretend like you're still broke. Don't start going to banks, taking out monies. Find a salon that's going out of business. Find a salon that is small, 3, 5, 10 chairs maybe, or a barbershop, whatever you do. Try and get in there with like seller financing, take it over for them, absorb the lease. Don't put any money out of pocket, pay for the inventory, pay for the equipment they have in the salon. You can get into a salon for like 10 grand. Someone who wants to get out, they just want to get out of the lease. You can move in there, do a transfer lease, 10 grand out of pocket. You already got the sinks. You got everything you need. It may not be your dream salon yet. It's okay. It's just step one. That's what you do. Then you start building your leadership skills. You start building your operation skills, your marketing skills. Then you invest a little money here and there with the profit the salon's making. Still have your money saved in that secured credit card, in your whatever you have saved up for 3 months. Then, as you have the skills of being an owner, then you go to business number 2. What the smart move to do would be this. You have this little salon you bought making you money. Now you start looking for some real estate. You buy the building. You have 6 units upstairs that you're renting out as residential. Downstairs is 2 units. One's your salon or barbershop. One you're renting out to somebody else. Now you're building equity. Now what you do is you lease the salon to your other business at an extraordinary amount of money. It's going to you anyway. You increase the value of that business in that building. You borrow against that. You buy the second building. This is what you do in the business world, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you could become a billionaire, a successful salon owner, like a multimillionaire, owning a few salons because you own the real estate too. But if you start taking out debt now and borrowing money to open up a salon, you're going to spend it all. You're going to be into a build out for like $150,000 or 200 grand, which you didn't need to do in the first place because it doesn't make you money. What makes you money is being the best in the world at cutting hair. And then as you have the business acumen, you start buying real estate, buying businesses. Now you start actually making real money. James, how was that?
That was fantastic.
That was a good plan?
It's a great plan.
Cool. As long as James approves. And if I ever rant, James, just cut me off because sometimes I get excited.
We got Roots and Razors. Do you check references? I never know if previous employers are honest.
I don't like to, honestly, like for the question before I go, my gut a lot. I don't need to check references. I'm very empathetic. Like I could pick up on someone's frequency really easily. And like I said, like you just said, I don't really trust other owners. Here's why. If someone leaves my salon on like even decent terms, I don't like to badmouth people. Like there was 1 or 2 people who left my salon and they badmouthed me for no reason. Like it's their fault they got fired, first off. But like you don't try and leave my salon and take my brother-in-law who works for me to your fucking suite. Like it's stupid. Like, of course I'm going to fire you. Like, it's just dumb. I still didn't badmouth you. You badmouthed me, but that's fine. Like, I saved all your texts that you sent me that I was the best owner and all that. I share them on social media because I still am a troll too. But James, where are we going with this question? I went so far. References, yes. So if someone were to call me and ask me, hey, should I hire this girl? I'd be like, yeah, she's awesome. She's a great hairstylist. Was that person batshit crazy? Yeah. That's not my problem anymore. Hey, she's great. Because she may be great with that person. I don't know if she turned over a leaf. I don't know if she was going through some shit in personal life, which she was. But so references I don't like, to answer your question.
Also, who's going to put down a reference that's not going to say something good about them?
A lot of people. I had a friend of mine, hopefully he doesn't listen to this podcast. He put me down as a reference for something, and it was a personal reference. I said no. Because what he was going to do was get himself put in some, like, more financial trouble.
Hope Doms.
Hope in the Level Up Academy. There's the new How to Be Coachable lesson. And then the Start Here section, the welcome section, go back to Start Here. Watch those couple different videos. There's like 2 or 3 more I'm going to post up in the next couple days for you. But that's where you want to start and then work yourself right down. But James, answer our question.
What's the best way to do price increases for my salon? We are implementing this for 2026.
Go to the pricing calculator on my website. Figure out what you should be charging to cover each chair per minute. Then figure out how much profit you want to make off each one of those pricing structures. So like how much you charge for a haircut. You figure out the base price of a haircut color that is like break even, let's say. Like you have to make at least this much money to pay the rent, to keep the lights on for that chair baseline. Then based on the stylist's level of experience and the quality, the retention rate, you start playing with those numbers. Then from there, you got to also add in how much you want to make if you're a commission salon with that split. So that's how I do my pricing. I need to make at least $40 an hour or $20 an hour from this chair. That means that any hourly thing in this chair should be bringing in at least $60 an hour if I want to make $40 an hour from it. 20 for you, 20 for styles. However you do your math. Do the math. I'm not here to do math quizzes right now. But that's what you do. You want to get a floor price, what you need to generate based on how many chairs you have, or tables, or nail tables, or esthetician rooms, like whatever the thing is that produces income. That's your baseline. Then from there, you want to add in the profit you want to make off the service. Now, I do parts and labor. I think you might be doing that too now, which makes it easier for us because you're literally charging what products you're using to the client. When you try and do the math and incorporate that into the service, it just gets messy. And I know there's coaches out there who say parts and labor is silly. We're not. It's for the automotive industry. No, it's not. 100% it's not. The amount of color that you use on a highlight, a low light, a tip out, a mid light, a root melt, a gloss, a fucking Olaplex, like it adds up to like $60. Your little 3%, 5%, 10% charge you do, it's not going to cover it. You can't build it into the price because there's too many variables when it comes to color nowadays, which is why parts and labor is the most genius thing to do in your salon. But yeah, I would do that. And for 2025, don't be afraid to charge what you want to charge, even though the world is really hurting financially right now. Milk goes up. Farmers still have to raise their prices. People are still raising prices of houses. Cars still go up. The iPhones, well, I think I'm going to say the same, but like the price of everything is going up. You can't hurt your growth and hurt your team by being scared because everything else is going up. You have to raise your prices along with everything else. But the best way to do it, fair and transparent pricing, get an idea of what you should be charging for your space, not the salon down the street, for your space. Then you figure out what that is. Then you figure out how much you want to make from each service with the commission you're giving to your team. And then you create your pricing structure. James, did you understand that?
A little bit.
Okay. Just want to make sure you're paying attention. But Hope, me and you're we'll chat about that on Monday or Tuesday. And me and you can do another one-on-one anyway, because I know you came on in the mid-season of the holidays, so we're gonna jump into another in-depth one. Me and you and her. I think it's your sister-in-law.
Everything's expensive. Chair rental queen. Do you do working interviews, and how long should they be?
Yeah, you 100% should do working interviews, and they should be 1 or 2 services. I like to do a working interview with everybody: an assistant, a front desk, stylist. I like to onboard people the right way, but for the working interview, I kind of like to let them figure shit out on their own. Here's the color room. There's our color line. There's the sinks. And I want to see how they do under pressure if they know their way around a salon. Because you get people who say they are good at hair, but they don't know their way around a color room. And I do that because you could put me in any salon in the world and I'll know my way around it. And this is really for the experienced stylist. If you're like really junior and young, you got to hold them by the hand a little bit more. But even the assistants, like I kind of let them, here's a shampoo bowl, figure it out. People need to be able to think for themselves and learn how to act under pressure. So the working interview should be a cut and a color, and it should style the hair. And you should see how they formulate and how they problem solve. And if they look for the towels or they ask you a million questions. Like I like people who kind of like explore the salon a little bit, or do they get there early to make sure they can get a tour and they can open the cabinets up and see what kind of shampoo you got. There's a lot of things to be said for a working interview. Yeah, 100% though. Everyone should do one. You can't work with somebody till you work with somebody. James, how's the chat? Are they good? People are working. Are we just talking to ourselves here?
No, we're not talking to ourselves. There's people in the chat, people on both sides, and Facebook and Instagram and the YouTubes.
Beautiful.
We got scissors and stacks. What if they have a big following, but you've heard they cause drama?
Scissors and stacks. Fuck yeah. That's a great name, by the way. Okay. You heard they cause drama. Sometimes the person who causes drama is the one who's saying that person causes drama. So it goes back to that gut feeling again. Here's what I like to do. Ask them about their experience in their last salon. See what they say about other people. A person who causes drama will be like, oh, this person's fault. That person did this. That person did that. And they begin to like point the finger at everybody. A person who doesn't really cause drama was like, oh, the last place was great. Just we didn't line on a couple different things, but it was an amazing salon. Got nothing bad to say. That's a pretty solid answer, even though they fucking hate that salon. Like they could have ripped everyone apart, but they chose not to because they were not causing drama. So you let the person show you their true colors. If you ask them, name 3 people you admire and why. I want to know who you admire. Take me through a scenario that was challenging in your last salon, like when you and a manager or somebody else had an issue with something. Like how did you work through that? Ask those types of questions. You'll get the answers that reveal the person's character. That's got to be a real, James. I think it was good.
That's the real?
I don't know. Might be. Guys, I have a new coffee mixture that I'm doing, so I'm like super hopped up on caffeine for these podcasts now.
Guys all over the place.
Let's go, James. Give me some more. Guys, give me a good question for a Saturday. It's a new year, for Christ's sake. Let's do it.
Saburo.
Ask me a question that'll make this year really impactful for you.
Well, it's not really going to make it super impactful, but Saburo Life wants to know, Tasha wants to know, sweet renters should even bother hiring assistants or if it's not worth it.
Yeah, 100% you should hire an assistant. Listen, guys, you don't need just an assistant to shampoo your clients. There could be an assistant that works virtually that handles your emails, handles your text messaging, handles your appointments, that does your accounting for you, does your ordering for color, calls your clients up to check in with them. You can use an assistant for anything, to help you with your social media, to help you with your SEO, to help you with your Google business page. Any person who owns a business needs to have some kind of an assistant, even for the simple fact to hold you accountable for delivering on the things you have to deliver on as an owner. That is 100% fact. Because like what I do when I have to get something done, I bring somebody in my world to have a meeting with to make sure I have a deliverable for that person. And so do they. This way I'm held accountable with a deadline for even myself. Because as an owner of a salon, like, you have no deadlines because you own the salon. Like you can't fire yourself. So it's like you live this vicious cycle of always having things to do and you never follow through with them because no one's holding you accountable. So you hire someone, even just as an accountability partner, to hold you accountable. Like James holds me accountable for these lives because every day I don't feel like doing one. He's like, "You ready to go live today?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, like I gotta go live again today." Like I do love doing them, don't get me wrong, but there's other stuff I'm doing right now. But my main mission is, like, my goal is to add value to 200,000 people a year. Hopefully it's gonna be 200 million people a year. No, it is 200 million. My goal is to add value to 200 million people a year. And so that's through Instagram and Facebook and through YouTube. And so if I could deliver on that, that's one of my goals. And the only way to do that is to create content that you guys like, that can help you, and we're both happy. But yes, get an assistant.
We got Cecilia Care. When to know to hire an assistant?
When hiring the assistant, make a list of things to do. When you're so busy that you can't do the things in your business to keep it running smooth. And then when hiring an assistant gives you enough free time to do things that generate more money for you. So if you're really busy behind the chair, like if you're busy, you have to hire an assistant. Whether it's an assistant to handle your admin stuff or an assistant to help you shampoo people, you're ready. If you're busy enough to replace a 2-hour time gap for someone to do admin work for you, and you could take a full highlight on in that 2 hours to apply and do what you got to do, hire an assistant. Once you could replace a task that you could pay someone $10, $15 an hour for, when you could do something that's more valuable for the business, you have to immediately replace yourself in that role.
What's your take on hiring older stylists? I feel like they're more reliable, but some say they're set in their ways.
How good of a leader are you? If you're a strong leader, you can lead the person. They may be set in their ways, but as long as you're crystal clear on how your salon operates, what is the standard that you set, hold them to that standard. And the second that something happens where they start doing their own thing because they're set in their ways, you address it immediately and let them know that doesn't fly here. But you have to be crystal clear. Like I had a conversation with not a client of mine, but she's like my level in the industry in terms of how many years, maybe a little more than me actually. And she was going to sell her salon and work in a salon and go work somewhere else. And like the stipulations this owner had put on her in order for her to come work at that salon was insane. And I was like, you're going to be so miserable. Like, you're not going to be happy there. Like they were a Redken only salon or whatever product line they were. I have no idea. She might've been Redken. Regardless, they wanted her to use this product line, use this color line. And she had to like adhere to this set of rules that was so far from where she was as an owner in her own salon now. It would have crushed her. I was like, is that really worth it? Good for them for being transparent. Like, that's awesome that they were like that new salon. They had a standard. She's an older stylist. She would not have fit that mold. It would have been an issue for them and for her. I said, don't do it. Do not do it. It would have been all parties involved would have hated it. So if you're transparent with how you want your salon to operate, and that person, and guys, don't just change your standard because that person's busy and you're like thinking about the money. You're still going to be miserable. Don't change your standard. Here's my standard, Barbara. And if this works for you, then let's rock and roll. And then you still do the 1 week, the 30 day, the 60 day, the 90 day, the whole entire onboarding process. If it doesn't, no hard feelings. I think you're amazing. The salon won't work for you. And they're going to respect that. So that's what you do. At least that's what I would do.
So we got it's a tool for said, please help me. I want to learn how to make money online. What do I have to do?
DM me at Nick Mirabella. Shoot me a DM. You can make money online. But listen, make sure your salon's running smooth before you go try and make money online. This year, guys, is the year I'm really going to lean into Shopify for you and e-commerce. And I'm going to, like, the people in my Level Up Academy are going to get like the new 2.0 course of Shopify. And Tuesdays is when I teach my e-commerce inside of the community. It's going to be a game changer. Like, I created such an amazing curriculum for this year that I'm using in my own e-commerce stores. And so my goal is to help all you guys get to $10,000 a month in profit selling retail online. So if you want to learn how to do that, you want access to the Level Up Academy and the e-commerce Shopify Academy in particular, shoot me a message. We build your Shopify store for you. If you're part of the community, it's a different price, but if you want it built for you, there's a link on my website. Hit the e-commerce button. The pricing's pretty much dialed in. Now, depending on what you want, like you want to build an empire, it'll be a different price. You want just 500 products, SEO done for you, all that. We're a salon. I've done it before. All I do is work with salons. You're going to get products. You're going to get the SEO. You're going to get the whole thing done. So if someone goes in ChatGPT, your salon will pop up, your products will pop up. But it's a business. It's just like you're going to have two businesses now. You have your salon and then you have your retail e-commerce business. They both complement each other, but just know it's a complete different set of skills. Making money online is no easy task. I mean, it's just work.
Iceberg Cuts. I don't know if you're in the Level Up Academy, but he said, I'm making $100,000 this year and I'm there for the Shopify class. So if you're not in the Level Up Academy, I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, come in. I mean, flat build out, 5K, your products are in there. Like everything's pretty much dialed in for you. Like if you, it sounds like maybe a barber, James. Is that a barber?
Yeah,
you think?
I'm guessing he's in the chat almost every day.
Yeah. So you could definitely dial yourself in. Here's the deal, man. Like if you really build a personal brand and you have a Shopify store that is positioned to give your barbershop a lot of visibility, your website's a tool to drive traffic to your barbershop. So you step out from behind the chair, your team now is dialed in. They're making money behind the chair. You still now are creating content for men's grooming. As that builds up, you come out with your own product line. So now you have, 200,000 people who bought from your website, or even call it 100,000 people or 50,000 people who shopped on your website before. When you come out with your own volume powder or your own pomade or your own clay or your own men's product, like your paste, you have 50,000 people who are buying men's products from you that are going to entertain you or buying your own product line. So as you start building a personal brand, you now start using the people who bought your statement from you and your Ruzel and your other brands from you. You start positioning your products now by shipping them out in samples, and you build your own brand off the back of other brands' popularity because they're Googling those brands. You ship them the product, you put your sample in the box. Like, that's how you do it. Know who did this really well, guys? Go look at the Blowout Professor on YouTube. He's a beast. He started doing tutorials on and product reviews on Pureology and all the Salon Centric products. Salon Centric sucks, obviously, so that he came out with a product line, and he's doing phenomenal. He's a blowout bar in Florida. Like, me and him started at the same time. I was going to do the product thing. It didn't excite me anymore. I went to the coaching thing. I like to teach business. I like the SEO. I like the marketing side of things. He's doing the product side of things, and he does blowouts all day. Like, he's not even like a cutter or a colorist. He's doing phenomenal. Got a great YouTube channel, a wealth of knowledge. That's the blueprint right there, if you want to see someone who did it already.
Cecilia Kerr wants to know where to find the pricing calculator on the website.
Go to my search bar and put in pricing calculator in the search. It should pop up.
Then we have Heidi Jansen. Should an owner that works behind the chair do their own accounting?
My honest opinion, this is going to be a hard one. Yes and no. Like, you should know how to do your own accounting. You should hire someone to do it for you based on what you want done with the accounting. With AI, you can literally hire a virtual assistant. You could dedicate 2 hours a week or an hour a week or an hour every 2 weeks to your own accounting. You can build out a project in Claude with everything you need done for your accounting, upload each one of your CSV files. It would do all the math for you, all the allocation for you, and do everything you need done for you. You could hook that up to your Google Drive, which will sync up through your Google Sheets, and you could run this automated in the back end. With AI, the way it's set up today, N8N or Relevance, and then your Claude, you can literally have your accountant as a virtual assistant, like as an AI assistant. Then you just want to make sure you have somebody in your world you could bounce ideas off of. I would go to every single article in the world that is written about CPAs and accountants. I would go to the IRS website, download all of their documents they have, upload that to your project on ChatGPT or Claude. So you have all the knowledge that's effective today in 2026 or 2025. So it knows all the laws, everything you do. I'm sure TurboTax has some shit on their website too. Download all that, add it in there, and then you create your own personal accountant that knows way more than a regular accountant. They're not telling you can and can't do stuff because they don't know what they're doing. When you hire an accountant, you tell them what you need to get done. Hey, Brian, thanks for being my accountant. I don't want to hear I can't do this. What needs to be true that so when I do this, it's legal and compliant? How do we need to word this? How should this write-off be structured so we can write this off in this area? Don't tell me I can't do it. What needs to be true about it so I can write it off? And I'll make it true. You're not lying. You just need to know what the laws are so you can make this applicable to laws that are given to you. Accountants will lie to you and tell you you can't do certain things because they're ignorant. They're lazy. Not all, 99% of accountants are. Same thing with lawyers too. Like you can literally look up all the laws that are ever listed anywhere through AI. They have AI now, lawyers. Like my friend's a lawyer. He's got like an AI thing that he uses that has all the court cases to reference. You could do that same stuff too. Just cross-reference with different AI tools to make sure it's legitimate information. It's not hallucinating. But you don't need these people anymore like you used to. James, next question. Like I created my own family trust.
The Real Salon. Do you involve your existing
AI.
team in the hiring decision or keep it separate?
I love that question. And I think it's a brilliant question to ask. And I think that depending on your team and your culture, I think that you could, right? So your existing team has a couple different layers to it. You have a leadership team, which you should involve them in that. Your salon team, you should have your close A-level stylist that understands the vibe and culture. And she's a team player and she's there ride or die. And you know she's not going anywhere. You might get surprised every now and then with some people. But yeah, you want to get some feedback on them. How's this person doing? You know, that's really important. Not your whole team, but you should have a couple players in your salon that you know you could bounce ideas off of. It's not gossip. Like don't blur the line of talking shit about the new hire. Find out areas of improvement, blind spots you don't see, and just get some feedback. So arrange your questions in a way that gives you feedback. Guys, if you are watching this right now and you're like, this is really good information. I don't have time to ask a question. I'm going live. I'm listening on the podcast. I'm on YouTube. Go to apply.nickmarabella.com or message me on Instagram, nickmarabella.com or at nickmarabella.com and get a conversation. If you need help with your salon, like I would love to help you, see if we're a good fit. I have a bunch of resources I can send you, whether it's profit first, whether it's leadership languages or how to really understand AI. I do this to help you guys because it was so hard for me as a stylist who was trying to become an owner, and like that mindset and that shift and that identity shift to really learn how to interview people and then how to hire, how to fire, how to really do my accounting the right way, how to do my inventory. Like that's why the coaching industry exists. But the problem is there's a lot of people out there who don't own hair salons that try and coach a salon owner. Like it's really difficult to do. Like theory is one thing. Listening to somebody who actually got their ass kicked by the industry before and almost had to go bankrupt and bounce back to go from 0 to 5 salons and then go from 0 to 3 e-commerce stores. And then it's a different dynamic. So I'm not saying this big, I'm the best in the world. I'm just telling you, if you're struggling, you don't have to struggle. If you're worried, you don't have to worry. If you're successful, you can be more successful. Like I made enough mistakes in the industry that I should be able to point you in the right direction because I probably made that mistake. And I know what road you should not go down. Like, hey, here's your 2 options. I've been down that road. Here's what it looks like. Let's try that option. So that's the difference, guys. So if you're struggling, I know it's Saturday. You're probably busy behind the chair. If you're listening right now, it could be any day of the week. And with the advice that I'm giving all these people, you listen to the Q&A, don't just listen to it. Like, especially if I'm giving you, answering your question in this chat or in this podcast, take the action on it. Don't just listen to somebody. Take my information, see if it works for you. Take what's useful, discard the rest. And if something's working for you in your business and something I say is not aligned with what I said, and you're going to make a big change and it's already working, don't do it. If something's working, don't listen to what I say and change what's working. See what's useful in what I say and add it to what you're doing that's working to make it work even better. I had an owner come up to me and they were like, hey, I tried doing Google ads and my business, I'm losing clients. And long story short, I was like, well, what were you at last year? What were you at like last month? And what happened in April? Because you went from, 42 new clients in March, and April you dropped down to 25, and so on and so forth. They're like, well, I took this course on Google ads, and I was like, all right, well, what were you doing running ads before on? They were like, Facebook ads. I'm like, what happened to your Facebook ads? They're like, well, I stopped running them because the guy said that Google ads were going to be better. was like, well, why would you stop running Facebook ads? Well, I had to take my budget away for the Google ads. I'm like, well, no, they were profitable. You were running Facebook ads with the extra profit is what you should have used to run the Google ads. I go, let's spin up the Facebook ads again, get them going. And then, so we did that. We got the Google ads dialed in and they tripled their revenue, not doubled, not did a little more. They tripled the revenue. So we ran a great Google ads campaign. Then we used the ads that were running on Facebook, kept them going, then ran a retargeting campaign both on Google and on Facebook, and they tripled the revenue. And it was a phenomenal transformation for that salon. So it's really important that if something's working for you, you don't shut it down for the new shiny thing. You just ease into the new thing and see if you can add. It's not and or, right? It's not this or that. It's this and that. Facebook and Google. So just remember that. Advertising and marketing is not a liability. It's a needed asset in your business. The marketing team should be bringing in people. You hire an agency, you should be able to pay for that agency, the ads, and be profitable. Like I'm talking to somebody right now, she's in the community and she's hired a company. They're expensive. She's not getting the results. With Andromeda on Facebook, if these people are running shit like they did like 5 years ago, it's not going to work. It's not hard to run your own Facebook ads. It's not hard to run your own Google ads. I teach it. I don't like doing it for people. I will help them set it up, but I teach you how to do it. The only thing we like to do is your SEO for you because it's a little more complicated, and your AEO because it takes a lot more effort to do. But setting up an ad, 2-3 hours, you're sitting in front of Google and Facebook, you dial that shit in there, you're good. Take your really good organic content and just put some money behind it. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Like the advertising industry, like these agencies, they're not going to be around for that much longer because obviously AI is here and Facebook has their AI and so does Google. And there's a lot of changes that happened in the industry. So these people who want to charge you $4,000 and get no results, then charge you a monthly retainer, they're about to close their doors. Is there a question with that, James?
No. It was involving your existing team and bringing the hiring decision.
Cool. And I just went on a rant for that. Hopefully someone got value out of
that. Cecilia Care has 2 questions. Thought on ChatGPT doing your taxes.
Okay.
And how much would you recommend to invest in Facebook ads and Google ads?
All right. Question number 1. ChatGPT doing your taxes. I like Claude better. ChatGPT does hallucinate. What you do in ChatGPT is do exactly what I said. Go to the IRS website, go to TurboTax, download all the information you can. Ask it to research all the new laws for 2025 because that's what you're probably filing for. Then what you do is export all of your bank statements and everything else that you have. Upload everything to a project in ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or your own GPT, your accountant GPT, however you want to work that out. But there's a couple ways to do it. I like to do a project. It has all the data and information that I need based on the laws that are applicable today. Then you go to TurboTax. You take a screenshot of each step that you're doing and be like, hey, what's the best answer I should put in here to maximize my deductions? And if there is something I can't deduct, what could I relabel in my bank statements to make it work? Make sure you word it properly because they'll block you because they're annoying now, the AIs, because there's people interfering with the answers they can give you. But hey, if this expense was this, would that be a deduction? Yes, it would. Guess what? It was that. That's all you got to do. Screenshot each page, upload the picture. It would take the information, the data that you uploaded and the shit that's from the IRS and then wherever you got information from, it will give you the best answer. You can do your own taxes 100%. That's how I would do it. Now, question number 2. James, what was it?
How much would you recommend to invest on Facebook ads and Google ads?
It all depends on how many people you have in your salon and how big you want to grow. What is your bandwidth? Like, what is your capacity to hire new clients? What's your retention rate? I would first make sure that your retention rate is solid, above 80%. Clients book an appointment and they come back at least 80% of the time, right? That's crucial. 90% is ideal. 100%, you're a killer. I would make sure your client journey from pre-appointment to post-appointment is dialed in like no other. The experience in your salon is 100% like the best experience you provide out of any salon in the community. You're 5 stars on every platform. If not, you're 4.7 and above, and you're building it back up again. Your social media is top shelf. Like that's it. People look at your page, they build, you just trust being built with your Instagram. So before any of that, like make sure all that's true. Your budget you would use for ads, make sure you fix that stuff. Then you come back to your ads. Now, someone's going to see an ad, they're going to take a look at your Instagram. If it's shit, they're not going to go to your salon. You want to make sure your customer acquisition cost is very low. By having enough trust organically, it's going to bring that trust, that trust factor into play where your customer acquisition cost will be very low. Make sure your SEO and your website structured right too. I have to say that. Now, if you could spend $100 a day and it brings you in 3 clients a day, that average spend is like, let's say $250 a client, that's $750 a day coming in new revenue, and you spent $100 a day. After you give your commission, let's call it, so $100 a day, you had $750 a day coming in, it brings you down to $650 because you spend $100 on ads. Your commission on the $750, let's do the math right here. $750 minus, let's go like this, divided by 2. That's $375 if you're a 50-50 salon. You got the other percentage you're paying in taxes on that. So let's call it like $300 minus your $100 a day in ad spend. So you're looking at $200. If you do parts and labor, you're still good. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You're up $200 right now because you gave your commission. We made it simple. It was 50-50. So you're up $200 because you took the $100 out for the ads. Now, if they come back again, that customer acquisition cost, right? I'm not going to do the math on that, gets cut in half again because they spent another $250. So you have to make sure you understand your lifetime value of the customer, how much the average ticket is, and how much your customer acquisition cost is. We teach that in Level Up Academy, by the way. Once you know those numbers, then you can start fluctuating your ad spend on a daily basis. If you could get 3 clients in for $100 and you're profitable, what if you spend 200? Do you get 6 clients in? And that's a day, right? What if you spend 300? Do you get 9 new clients in a day? That compounds. If they're staying in your salon, that's 9 new clients a day. After 3 months, they should be visiting again. That's how you compound your clientele. And your ads are paying for themselves. So if you could spend $1,000 a day and you have enough people in your salon to do all those clients, then do it, rock and roll. How I do it is by using Shopify to position products in front of people in my neighborhood that my salons are at. So I make the profit on the sale of the product. Then I retarget them, my services, with the profit that I made on the shampoo or the conditioner or the hairspray. So that's how you play that game when it comes to Shopify. That's all going to be in the Level Up Academy. But yes, make sure you know all that information. Make sure you do everything I just said, and you can run that successfully. If you want help with that, reach out to me on Instagram. Hey, Nick, I just was on the live. I love what you had to say. I need some help. If we can work together, you come to Level Up Academy, and we teach it to you.
Good thing Nick's got a lot to say today. He likes rapid fire questions. Behind the chair, boss. What questions do you ask to find out if they actually want to build something or just collect a check?
In the beginning of the conversation, this whole podcast, what experiences do you want to have in life? What kind of person do you need to become to make those experiences possible? And then how are you going to help other people make their experiences possible too? Then you ask them, like, if I ask this question, name 3 people you admire and why. And then based on that answer, like they could say Kim Kardashian, right? That's their answer. The person they admire. Why? So it would be like, all right, I admire Kim because she made a sex tape and she's a billionaire now. And I don't know, whatever she said. And I love the fact that she's the most beautiful girl in the world. Some stupid answer like that. Or I like Kim Kardashian because she's a self-made woman, entrepreneur. Yes, she had that sex tape come out, but she was able to pull her family up, even though they were rich. They were like, they had the lawyer thing going on, the O.J. Simpson trial, all that. But you can't deny her business acumen. She was truly able to create a business, whether her mom was her funding money to her or not. She still created a pretty good brand. It's really hard to take that bad publicity with the sex tape and turn it into the business empire that she did. Look at Paris Hilton. Obviously, she has money too. She had the sex tape too. Look at how many people had sex tapes that came out. How many people actually made a legitimate reality show out of it and a business out of it that people don't remember. The fact that undeniably Kim Kardashian for a period of time was one of the most talked about people on the planet. Like if she answered that question in a certain way, it could be the same person. That's why I ask, name 3 people you admire and why. Same person, much different reason why you admire that person. So you want to get into depth of how that person you're hiring thinks. With the right kind of questions, it reveals a lot about that person. So what you need to do as an interviewer, be more interested than interesting. Like, you don't have to sell the salon. They're there. Be interested in that person. Take me through hair school. Ask them questions. Like, take me through like what success looks like for you in 5 years. Ask the right questions. You'll get the responses that reveal who that person is.
We have style seat secrets. Do you think personality tests are worth it or just a waste of money?
They're okay. Don't spend money on personality. They're cool. Like the disc test is okay. We're hairstylists, right? If you're in a corporate world and you're hiring someone to be a CEO of a company and they're going to lead 50 people on a team of like, it might have a little more substance to it, but like, we're in a fucking hair salon. Like, don't put someone through a frigging an Enneagram test. And like, if it's fun, if you enjoy that, but don't always base your opinion on it. Your leadership team, maybe, but like your stylist, I wouldn't worry about it. You could ask the right kind of question to get the answer. It's a good question you asked though. Like, there's a ton of those. Don't spend money on them. There's free ones out there.
The stylist guru. What's the number one thing you look for when most salon owners completely overlook?
Look for in a person, I'm guessing, because we're talking interviews here, James.
So yeah, when you're hiring somebody, what's
I honestly, exactly what I said. I look for character and hunger. I asked them, name 3 people you admire. Why? I asked questions about how they dealt with the situation. Take me through a time that was hard in the last salon you worked at that you maybe disagreed with the owner or one of the managers or front desk, and tell me how that played out. And you ask them the questions, like how they respond. If they point the finger, if like, you can reveal a lot about a person by asking them the right questions. There's a guy named Chris Voss. He's a great like interrogator, negotiator type guy. Follow him. James, who's the guy we talked about yesterday? Me, you, and Anthony?
What guy?
The guy Anthony sent me. The guy we were talking about, like with the good questions.
I don't know. No idea.
Okay. I can't find him right. I'll drop him. I'll use him again. All right, James. One more question. We're going to wrap it up today.
That was it. That was all I had.
Wow. Good timing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do need help in your salon, I know I said it a couple times in this podcast, do me a favor. Don't try to figure it out on your own. Get help, whether from me or somebody else. There's a lot of other great coaches out there. But reach out to me on Instagram. I'll see if I have anything that could help you. And if I can help you personally, I'll invite you to Level Up Academy. If I can't, I'll give you a resource that might point you in the right direction or send you to a coach or a mentor in the area that you probably need a little more focus on. But it's apply.nickmarabella.com or reach out to me on Instagram at Nick Marabella. Guys, thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe. If you are on Facebook or Instagram, please reach out to me. Say, hi, Nick. I listened to your live. It was great. Thank you so much. I'm always here to have a conversation with you guys. Other than that, have a great day. Have a great rest of your year. And I'll see you all later.